Alright, so this video is going to be showing you how to do a transmission fluid flush in a second gen CRV automatic. So these torque converters don't have a drain bolt, so this is technically only going to be a quarter to a third of the fluid flush. They say you need to do a 3 times fill and drain to get all the fluid. I only have 3 quarts. So and I just bought this car. It's got like 313,000 miles on it. So the idea is I'm going to drain the fluid. And if the fluid's clean that's in it, it's going to go right back in the funnel down into the transmission. If it's dirty, I'm going to put the 3 quarts of clean fluid in it. It's not giving me any issues, but while I have the fluid, I might as well do it. And the drain bolt or the fill thing is down there. You can kind of see it, the yellow handle. So there's a fill stick, dipstick, measuring stick, and then down here, I'm just going to go ahead and pop the dipstick loose. So that way we get some vintage. Now underneath, it's just a 3/8 hex to get to it. All right, hopefully you can see this. So my idea is to kind of hit this with a little heat around it real quick. And get on it to remove it. Oops, the other way. Hopefully that, oh yeah. It's looking a little bit, it's dirty. It's definitely dirty fluid. And while that's draining, so what I use Dollar Tree oil drain pans. They're cheap, and I just double them up so they're more rigid. It seems to work quite well. And actually, I might be going back in with some of this fluid if there's more than 3 quarts there. So I'm going to pause this while this drains. But check this out. Let's see if you can see that. There's some stuff on the end of that plug there. Some grit and glitter clutch material. So I'm glad I did this. I'll see how big the biggest chunk of glitter is on there and then use my judgment. Now the material that was on this thing was very, very, very fine. There's no actual shards. It's just very fine metal powder swarf, what I would call it. But it stinks, kind of like burnt clutch material. And I'll be honest, if it starts slipping with new fluid in it at 313,000 miles, I'll probably drain that new fluid out and put this old stuff right back in so it has some grit in it and adds traction to the clutch pack. Now, before we go ahead and add the fluid back in, of course, you want to make sure your drain bolt magnet is cleaned off. And the surface it goes into is cleaned off and reinstall the drain bolt. It's right hand thread, so it turns left to loosen, right to tighten. Actually, I could probably go right on this thing with the ratchet. It's kind of flush to the case. I don't like tightening these too tight. There is a chance you can split the case right here if you crank it down too tight. Don't tighten it too tight. Cinch it down and leave it. I don't know what the torque spec is on it, but it's good for me. Now, what I'm gonna do here is I found like a Kool-Aid pitcher that I'm gonna pour this into, the old fluid, to measure it. Found one of these. I'm going to use to measure it. Let's see here. See if I can set this up to record like this. I'm going to go ahead and get the dipstick up out of there. Get the funnel down in there. I'm just going to go ahead and put my 3/4 in that I do have. Like that on. Get the funnel down in here. Tight fit, but perfect funnel. Now this is going to tell me how much, once I measure this, the old fluid in that Kool-Aid / tea container, this is going to tell me how much of the old fluid I need to put back in. Because I'll know up to this line is 3/4. So if it's more than that, then I'm going to be dumping the excess back in. And then checking from there. I might be adding some, I don't know. Like I might actually be adding more than the difference. It just depends on what it measures on the stick. And now this was some fluid somebody had given me. It's a Acura ATF DW1, which is the newer revised from the old stuff. I can't remember what the old stuff is called, but I looked it up and this is the stuff I made. I'm just going to put this back on here for now. Get my other 2 quarts in here. Nothing is running down the transmission here. Nope, it's all going in, so we're good. We're in good shape. It would be nice if these had a torque converter drain bolt, so you didn't have to do the flush and fill like 3-4 times. But whatever. Knowing my luck with this mileage on this car, it's going to hurt it having cleaner fluid in there. But it's not slipping at all. A lot of people report slipping going into third gear and it's not doing anything. Nothing funny. But that's not to say this whole engine and transmission power unit hasn't been swapped out before. It very likely could have, because it's awfully quiet for 313,000 miles on it. Oh yeah, look at that. DP in that funnel. Okay, now while we're waiting for that DP to finish, we could measure this out. That's what I'm going to do here. All right, so there's 3 quarts, and we do have a little bit left over. It'll probably bring it up to there. I don't want to pour it up to there because the fluid was getting darker brown as I poured it. So this is going to be the cleanest, and I'm actually going to let it sit for probably like 10 or 15 minutes before I add any, to let any sediment get to the bottom, and not be as suspended in that fluid, and then we'll go from there. And there's little things that tell me that this has possibly had the motor swapped, and I'll show you. It's little things you got to look at like this, and it's kind of a good sign on a car with this high mileage if you're looking at buying one. Stuff like this: wiring harness not in that grommet, bolt missing from the throttle cable shield on the throttle body, stuff like that. Wires not put back in the clip, wire harness clips broken, stuff like that would be indicative of a swap. Stuff like this, that's been off. There's no, I don't know if there's a clamp on there from factory or not, but just little things like that are indicative of this having had the motor swapped at some point. So there's a good chance that this is a lower mileage engine and transmission unit.